No, all my taxes at home. Yeah, okay. All of them, all 15 of them.
Oh, that's your mom right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had never seen that. All right, we about to get started. Oh, let's talk about it podcast. I'm sweating like a Hebrew slave. Before we get going, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Y'all been lazy on that. I don't like that. So y'all take a second, just hit the button. As y'all see, I putting out good content. Help a brother out. All right, now today this one's special. You know, I say that every time, but I think it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna let her introduce herself, but one reason I want to do this on the serious side is that sometimes the women's side of things don't get told. You know, we hear a lot about guys that go through certain situations, and we're gonna get to that. You're gonna find out what we're talking about, but we don't often get to hear it from the woman's point of view, but it happens to women too. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm Brittany Owens. Employer raised, you know. Single mother too. Fresh out. Not really fresh, but 6 months out. Yeah. You know, working hard, working full time.
Yeah, all right. What I want to highlight, right? We're gonna. I'm still trying to put it together in my mind because there's different ways I could start this, but we're gonna just go. I'm gonna go here with it and just. All right. I'm gonna go back to this like 2017, and I'm gonna start with my point of view, and then you can take the story from there. Okay. At the time, I was still smoking weed, you know, and actually, I kind of just started, back, so I didn't really know a lot of people that was, you know, I didn't know who was selling it.
Right.
I know who was when I stopped, but I didn't know they were still doing it.
Right.
You know, spoke to you. You were doing something.
Yeah.
So, every once in a while I would hit you and I would get what I needed from you. Okay, around that time I was about to start trucking school.
Right.
So I had to quit. I was supposed to stop smoking. Went to trucking school, it kind of quit. Mm-hmm. Then it was time for me to go to Tennessee to go to orientation for my first job. Like a day or two before I left, and I didn't think of this till the other day. I think like the last bag I bought before I went to start trucking, I bought it from you.
Right.
Okay, fast forward, I do my training and everything, come to Brookridge because my aunt stay around there. Get there, she was like, the feds have been around here, they raided it, blah blah blah, and they got Brittany. I'm like, Brittany who? She said, Brittany Owens. I was like, yo, how much shit was she selling?
Right.
Like, what was she doing? So you take it from that point when they came and got you. What was going on?
The weed was just like something. That really wasn't like, that was just something to be doing. I really didn't even, that wasn't even the money. I was just doing that because I smoked.
Okay.
So I just had it, you know, a trade for a trade sometimes or whatever the case may be. You know, I never really was interested in going to buy weed and sell weed. I smoked weed, so most of the time I just kept a lot. Yeah, I mean, if they had the money, I would sell it to them. But I was mainly dealing cocaine, hard, soft.
I had no idea.
Heroin, like it was that, and you know, like I never thought I would be doing that, but
okay, so that brings me to ask you because how do you? And I'm trying not to say too much because this ain't Vlad TV. We ain't trying to. Yeah. We ain't talking about nothing too crazy.
Right.
But what makes you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
I ask myself that question every day.
Go that deep into it. You know, along the way, everybody might do a little hustle here and there, but what make you go that deep?
I'm gonna be real. I always been afraid of jail. Okay. Always. I don't even know why I started selling drugs. It was just. You look at the people who sold and it's just like, look at all their money. They do what they want. They buy what they want. You let the devil get in your head and that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Like you just say.
Let it entice you.
And I knew better. I knew better. I knew better. But at the time, you know, I wanted better. I wanted more. I was lazy. I'm gonna say I didn't want to go work hard.
But check it out though. Because from what I was seeing, because you was working with the rescue squad and stuff then.
Right.
So I was like, I'm looking like, oh, she doing good for herself. She getting herself together, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know it was
and so to this
money
day,
that was
you know, I apologize to the people that I was in the forefront with. You know, the church family, the rescue squad, family, real family, your close family, your children, my grandmother, my aunts, my uncles, people, my support system. You know, I never thought, like, I was raised the right way to not even go that route. So at the end of the day, you know, I really do apologize because I never want to hurt nobody. Nobody. Not even to the dude I was dealing with, his kids, his kids' mother, all of them. I apologize, you know.
So, okay. So you had no idea they was
watching me?
Yeah.
No, not me. I just felt like I was that discreet. But I really wasn't. And I think I thought that because I wasn't buying the flashy cars, even if I could. Right. I really wasn't wearing a lot of jewelry, even though I could. Right. Now, was I dressing nice? Yeah. I dressed my kids nice. Yeah. We dressed well. But I could pick up any car I wanted off the lot. I went and got a Mazda. I drove a Honda. Yeah. You know? I didn't pick up big diamond earrings and gold chains because that's the female perspective. Mm-hmm. As you're saying, the males, they going to spread money in videos, you know, at the club, spread money. You know, I low key, I go out, I'm in the cut. You know, I never did nothing up front.
Okay, so they come get you, boom, you go away. And I know when we were talking, you said you bounced around county for a minute.
8 months.
Now, how does that, what mind frame are you in, and how does that look, having to constantly be switching around? Because I know each environment is different depending on what
very much so
city or county or whatever you're going to. I know it's different politics and stuff.
Right. So when they first picked me up, I was in Richmond at Pamunkey Regional Jail, and they was a all day lockdowns facility. Only time you come out was for like Bible study, medical, and 1 hour rec time. Now go from being out, going where you want to go all day, every day, whatever time of the night, whatever time of the day, to in a cell with another girl who crying and you trying to figure out what's going to happen to you. You don't know how serious this is. Right, you know it's serious, but you don't feel like it's that serious because it's like, ain't but so much they can get on me. You know, that's the way you feel. But at the end of the day, you just go to a cell, and then the first 3 days you don't come out, period, because they have to medically clear you to go into population.
So how do you deal with it? Like you say, you able to go wherever you wanted to not being able to go anywhere immediately. You didn't gradually go into it. You just boom.
My mind was blank. Wow. I had it was so many emotions that it was no emotion. If you can feel what I'm saying,
kind of go numb.
Numb. You just like, here you go. This is it. You know, this is it. Crazy. Like so like you just sit there, you thinking like, how you gonna do it? How am I gonna be able to withstand the time away from my family, my kids? But then the reality set in as far as you did this. You know you did it. Right. So now how you gonna get around it? How you gonna beat it? You gotta accept. You gotta accept what you did. Right. You can't just sit there and say, "Oh, I had to do this." You know, you got to own it because you went out there and you did something illegal, and they found out, and now what you gonna do?
In the feds, and you know once they get you,
that's it. Ain't no way around it. 99.6. Conviction rate. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think nobody ever play around with them. 0.4% that got away. Right. And that was probably a mishap. Probably somebody knew, didn't read them their rights, you know, or something like that. But yeah.
Okay, so you bounce around county. At what point do you go
to another county?
Yeah, that's right. Because you said you went for 8 months. So
yeah, so I was in that county, the first county, for 33 days. Then the next county I did 8 months straight. I mean, when I say trifling.
Which county was that?
This was Warsaw. Michael Vick came out of here, and Chris Brown came out of here. Wow. Yeah, and when you get there, it's like 20 men and 7 women. They book all the men first. I was in holding for 19 hours. I sat in there. 7 women in this 1-2-man cell. You got a mat on the floor. You got a mat on the floor. You got 2 mats on the floor. Then you got the 2 bunks, and we just sitting in there waiting to be booked in. 19 hours. I got booked in, I think, 1 a.m. in the morning. 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. The first phone call was $15. I called a friend. I couldn't even call home because it wouldn't let me call the house phone. just to say, hey, I'm at another facility. This how you put money on my books.
I'm going to go through somebody else to.
Yeah, I had to call a friend just to say, a cell phone, just to say, hey, look, call my grandma and my aunt and them, let them know that this is where I am and this is where I'm gonna be until I get sentenced and go to prison.
Wow.
Smoldering in the showers, water never was hot, food had crazy stuff going on. I mean, stuff you never even thought you would ever see. A dog wouldn't eat it. I'm gonna just say it like that. I mean, and that's when I started blowing up, gaining weight, because I was eating what I knew I could withstand, and that was noodles. Making swolls and sodium. Yeah. So I'm eating chips and noodles. They don't give you no fruit. No fruit. Because they make hooch.
Well, yeah.
So they don't give you fruit. Vegetables barely. So
all starch and meat and stuff. Ugh.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Crazy.
That's it. And some water that it's some flavored water that had like this hormone stuff in it.
I know they say they got that for men.
Yeah, but the women got it too. Everybody get the same thing in there.
Yo.
Yeah, so so what I did in there is I read, slept, and eat, shower.
Some of their systems must fight against it because they still.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't take that out of some people. But yeah, I scheduled my time for the shower just because I knew when the water was gonna be hot.
Wow.
So I slept most of the day. I would get up like 4 or 5 in the morning for that little piece of breakfast. Mm-hmm. Lay back down, get back up for lunch, lay back down. Then for dinner, I get up and I take my shower around that time because that's when the water hot. When all the dishes been washed for all the days and you been waiting for the water to build back up. Read. I learned how to play certain card games, but to me it was a lot of prejudice there, and that was my first county I went to when I got into a fight. And I got sent to the hole. Okay,
what happened? Talk about it. Talk about that. Get to it.
Man, so you angry. You just going to prison. You don't know what's going to happen. Lawyer ain't came to see you yet. I mean, you just know you there. And you know what has happened to people who went to the feds. So that's, you got so much on your mind.
Right.
Then somebody just go off in the mouth. I mean, something. But it was really, to me, it wasn't something simple because it was your kids gonna be just like you, and something serious.
Yeah, that's serious.
And before I knew it, I was off the bunk. I was on the top bunk, and I just jumped off.
It was your cellar you got into?
No, see, we was in an open dorm at that.
Dorm, okay.
Yeah, we were in an open pod. So in that pod, it's like 24 people in there. And before I know it, I was in handcuffs going to the hole. I had hit this lady so hard, I had chipped a bone in her eye.
Good gracious.
So
that's aggression. That's anger right there.
Oh, I was angry. Ooh. I hadn't talked to nobody hard. I had one person that I really talked to, and everybody else was just, hey, how you doing, whatever, play a few cards and go back to sleep,
Right.
But that was the moment when I got to that holding cell with no noodles, no chips, no nothing but them 3 trays, and that's it. And they cut the lights off on you, black dog. You can't see your hand in front of you. That was the moment. I'm telling you, that was the moment because they tried to give me so many days in there, but the other girls were like, she didn't do nothing. Like, they wrote statements, and it was like she really wasn't doing anything. The other person instigated, and the people were real calm. Like, we really don't get people who write statements over fights and stuff, but they really said you really didn't do nothing, so we just gonna give you 5 days in the hole. And eventually, that was towards the close to the end, and the feds came to pick me up, and that's when I went to prison. So.
And that's when you went to Kentucky.
Yes.
Okay.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Now, what was your mind? Okay, when they come get you, do you know which facility you going to?
No,
because they got them everywhere.
I don't find out until I'm on that plane, Conair, with over 100 and some male inmates. And to be honest, that was the worst experience you could have on the airplane.
Why is that?
Your flight is with maybe 6 girls and 100 males. We in the front, and these 100 males are always to the restroom.
Oh, man.
So when you go to the back, now you as a female can't turn around and look and talk to this guy, but them guys, they can say whatever they want to you. What's up, this and that, and I mean they leaning their elbows in the
nobody do nothing to them, but
they don't
you
do
can't
nothing.
say
They
that.
might, hey, leave her alone. something like that. But the officer scared of him, and he got on cuffs. He shackled down, black box, stuck to the seat just like I am.
So okay, so say if you said something to the dude, what's the...
Hey, turn around. I ain't
so
gonna tell you
get crazy
no more.
with you.
Well, get crazy. Get crazy
That's
with
some
you.
sucker stuff. You gonna say that to the guy, but gonna say it to you.
And he telling you everything he can tell you. Suck my this and do that and all that.
And
but the female gotta keep going.
Yes.
I mean, they to the point where they trying to take their elbow and touch you. You know?
Because they know ain't nobody gonna do nothing.
Ain't gonna do
and
nothing.
You can't do that.
And it's really nothing they can do because half of them probably lifers. 30 years,
so
50 years, 40 years, they don't care.
Give me more time?
Right, they don't care. Lose my good time. Right, I'm going to lose that anyway.
Yeah, I'm dying here. That's crazy. So how long was the flight or whatever?
3 hours. It wasn't that long, but it was just unexpected because where I thought I was going to West Virginia.
And that's close.
3 hours.
Yeah, that's close.
My family come see me.
Easy drive.
And I see them calling names and I'm waiting, you know, because they call you by Owens-Episode11. That's your number. Your number, your last three of your federal number. So I'm just waiting. And then I heard something that sound like my name. Like, oh, you said Owens? And they like, no, I said. Oh man. I was so mad. And then I'm just sitting there like, so where am I going? This is the trip to West Virginia. Where am I going? Right. You know? So finally we go to the next airport. And when we get there, they tell me, oh, you going to Grady County. And I'm like, well, what is that? You know, that's the worst. You want to go to the transit center, this and that. It's better there, you know, whatever. So they say if they call you to go to the back, you're going to Grady. If you go out the front, you're going to the transit center. They call my name for the back.
Ooh.
When I get to Grady County, I'm exposed to tuberculosis.
Oh my gracious.
1,000. I mean, and it's foreigners, more foreigners than blacks and whites. You know, it's more Mexican. I'm in Oklahoma. It's like 100 and something of us in one pod.
So you went to Oklahoma first?
No, I went to Oklahoma. Yeah, that's where you get your number and you basically know where you're going from there.
Okay,
Oklahoma.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I went to Oklahoma and then that's when I went to Kentucky.
Wow.
So yeah, I was in Oklahoma for 9 days. 9 days, and you can buy commissary every day, but it's like soap, chips, toothpaste, deodorant. Like you don't want to buy a whole lot of stuff because you never know if you go on the next day. Yeah, if the next day they gonna call, because they call somebody every night at 1:00 in the morning, and you up waiting then, and that's the worst part. You waiting for like 3 or 4 hours just for them to move you to the bus, and then from the bus to the airplane. You know. So yeah.
Even that alone got to work on you mentally because you don't even know how you can rest.
Yeah.
Because you constantly waiting.
Yeah.
Is it my day? Is it my time? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave Oklahoma, go to Kentucky.
Yeah. So when I got to Kentucky, it was way better. You know, I mean, it wasn't the best thing. You know, prison.
It was an old facility.
It was a very old facility. Yeah. Very old facility. But I can say that's when I started getting into like a rhythm. Like, okay, you got to do this time.
Okay.
Ain't nothing else to it but to do it. You know, like I said, I had started accepting what I did, and I know that this is the consequences of my actions, and this is just what I have to do. So I got there, and you know, you got a lot of people who've been there years, who done walked their time down from a FCI, which is like not a camp. You know, I was at a camp, so they were at a bigger facility.
Okay.
And they worked their way down, so they're telling me like, this is what you need to do. You need to program. You need to keep your mind occupied. Read. Stay out of trouble. Don't flock up with a lot of people. This and that. You know. And I'm a people person, so I don't mind speaking, talking to people. You know. But I just want to stay out of drama. That's all I want to do. I don't want to lose no good days. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to do nothing that I'm not supposed to. I'm trying to get home as fast as I can. You know. So was it like gangs and stuff in the women's prison? No.
Not like was it
not
like
at the camp.
And stuff
yeah, you
like
got
that?
your cliques, of course. You have your people that hang together and no outsiders or whatever like that. But it's nothing serious. Like it wasn't. Like, a lot of people say cupcake camp. If you come from FCI, they call us, like, cupcake campers. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it is what it is. This is time. I don't care.
You're not home, so it ain't no cupcake.
It ain't no cupcake.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go home. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
But there, you know, you have your officers who are genuine, and they know you're just another human who made a mistake. And then I even had one who said, you know how many times I was this close to being arrested. You know, so you had your genuine, then you had your people who just didn't care, took the job too serious. But you just know how to deal with them. You know, you learn how to deal with them.
Was it mostly Caucasian staff, or was black and white out there? What?
Mostly Caucasian, but we had a few blacks. You know, yeah. But the blacks act like whites, so you know, it's just like it was what it was. Right. That's what I said. I started reading. You know, I read the Jim Crow laws, but I was really into like romance novels and read, you know, newspaper stuff and magazines, and you know, I just try to keep, like, I learned something from one of the women that was there. You know, she said I get magazines because I just want to know, I want to try to keep up with what's going on, not some more that I'm trying to live at home, but I just want to know what's going on, so when somebody can ask me, I can conversate, you know. Right. And so, like, whatever magazines I could read, and, you know, so my thing was mail. If I could just get a touch from home, I was all right. You know, right? I was all right. So, phone call, video visits, it was okay now. Okay. I could do this time, you know.
And that's what I was at a basketball game one night, and your aunt, she's like, I talked to Brittany. I guess, I don't know if this was like when you first got there or whatever, but anyway, she showed me a picture of you, and she gave me the number. I was like, oh, you can text people? Yeah. So I began reaching out every once in a while, and of course you can't really tell through text, but you always seem to still be you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I
never lost myself as far as, like, my personality, my characteristics. Like, I always made people laugh.
Yeah, it was still just like you. I was texting you out, but you was in there because, like you said, you didn't lose.
Yeah, I didn't. It was moments, of course, Christmas, birthdays, you know, my grandma's birthday, functions. You'll call home, everybody here, and you would want to be here because I know how my family do it, you know. Right. But most of the time, I stood on accepting my faults, that's paying the price to my consequences, the consequences of my actions. You know what I'm saying? I stood on that, so I try not to make myself be down for nothing. Like I said, you'll catch yourself in the moment, but I knew how to get up out of it. Right. Because I was always one day closer to being home. Mm-hmm. Every day I woke up, I was always closer to being home.
Let's get into that. Because when you first went in and once you got sentenced, how much time did you have?
I had 10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Then I worked down to 5. Okay. Then COVID hit.
Yeah, and explain that, because I remember we were communicating. You were telling me about the possibility of you coming home, and then next thing I know,
I couldn't.
You couldn't communicate. Next thing I know, I saw something. I was like, she at home.
Yeah.
So how did that work out?
So when they did my time, once I got down to 5 years, this COVID hit, and it was this plan where you had to be good behavior and had no shots, never been in trouble. What was the, like, medical? It was like asthmatic, obese, immunodeficiency. All these things didn't apply to me. I was healthy. The only thing, I was just had a high BMI.
Okay.
And my BMI was over, but they really was still trying to force it on, like, emergency medical. So I was seeing people going home that was healthier than I were. And I started pressing the issue, like, what is going on? Like, why I can't be on that list? Right. I have not been in trouble in over a year. Okay. I got in one shot, and that was over wearing shoes into a classroom that you weren't supposed to wear them in. But the shot was gone. Okay. So I never, like, was in the serious trouble to lose no days or nothing like that. Right. So my counselor, caseworker, or whatever you call him, he came to me one day, and it was crazy because this is the weirdest thing. I always thought David and Goliath were two people. I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah were two people. I never knew it was and he was a Christian guy.
Okay, talk about
so I was reading one night. I could not sleep for nothing. It was crazy.
And my two people. That's
funny. But it's funny. And I woke up. I mean, I really woke up and I started studying the Bible from then on there. Okay. There was something like I just.
So because you found that out.
So I was always reading, not to gain knowledge, but just to read because I thought I was supposed to. And that's something for you. You know what I'm saying? So I never really was. I would go to church, in there. I would go to Bible study, and I'd just be in there because that's what I thought. Kind of
going through the motions.
Because
that's what we brought up. You go to church.
Yeah, go to church. And I never really was listening the way I should have been. So anyway, I couldn't go to sleep. And my grandma always said, I bet you read that Bible, you go to sleep. And that's just something I always hung on to. So I could forget. I'm starting from Genesis. Wow. I started reading.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, God created, And when I got to I was so mad at myself. Sodom and Gomorrah is not two people. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? And I was just really sitting there. And I had what you call your prison sister. This girl named Ashley. That was my buddy. And she was a studier too because she just loved to read. But we was cool because we had kind of the same story, So I woke her up. I was mad. You was mad? I said, who is Sodom and Gomorrah?
I would have been mad with you waking me up with that, yo.
She said, I don't know, the bad guys of the Bible. I said, no, read right now. So read, and I was just so mad. I was just like, you ain't know either, so I'm good,
Yo.
And that's how I started studying.
She said, I don't know the bad guys of the Bible. Right. That's funny, yo.
And it was crazy because I think, honestly, God probably kind of opened my ears a little bit.
Okay.
He really did. Okay. He really did. And, I started studying and getting real information. I wasn't, these not bad guys. This is a city. Two cities.
Right. Two cities. Right.
And they swept through there and they did their thing, but I learned, and I learned. But that next day, I even learned about Lot and wives and people and, I just learned a whole lot of stuff.
Like you said, stories you might have heard, but
I didn't put them together. Yeah. I didn't comprehend them. I was just listening.
Just stuff you just used to hearing, so it wasn't even really getting in. You just used to hearing it.
But that next day, I seen my counselor. I said, you got to have some good news for me. I read the Bible all night. And I actually understood it.
And how far did you get?
Probably like Leviticus. I was mad. I was mad. I started talking about generational curses and
you turned into a whole evangelist overnight.
I started turning to. I was like, it was getting in me. It really and seriously, I really feel like he opened my ears that night. Seriously, and I'm close to going home. I've already done 3 years, But I really was reading every night. That was my routine, the daily bread. I would read the Bible. My friend Janice would tell you, you can't cut the light off until she finished reading the Bible. And they knew it. They respected that. I'm going to read this Bible before I lay down because I can't rest without it. Because I'm already in a unrestful spot. I never got really good sleep there. Okay. So, anyway, he had good news. He said, wow. I actually do got good news. I don't know if you read the Bible last night brought this good news, but I have good news. We put you in for review for the CARES Act. Wow. And I said, are you serious? Yo. And he was like, yeah, I'm serious. You could be going home within, in May. And this was the first time.
Yeah.
And I was so happy. I called my aunt, and I didn't want to tell my kids, but I told them because I seen everybody going home, so I'm thinking, this is it. I'm going home, So then he come back and was like, you didn't pass for medical. And I'm like, well, duh. Ain't nobody passed for medical, But fast forward to that, I never gave up. I rode them. I rode them.
Yeah, because I remember you was a little disappointed for a second.
I was so hurt. Yeah. I was so hurt because I had told my kids I was coming home. And everybody
because it looked like you was about to come home.
And it did, you know. So fast forward to August. I was at work. And when you have to go see the people in the front office, it's basically for travel plans, to see where you're going, to see you have somewhere to go, and it's this one lady. Mm-hmm. If she write her name at the top of that board and your name under it, what's up.
You know we're going home.
And they said, Brittany, your name on the board.
Ooh.
Man. And see, I drove. I was at this time I had a really good job and I was driving on the premises and I could drive. I said, boss. So I told my boss, boss, can I please go in? He was like, go ahead, and he let me drive in. I went and I seen my name with a smiley face beside it. I knew what was up.
How did that feel?
She said, how do it feel that you going home in about 30 days? I couldn't even sit down. My hands were shaking. And I was just like, this is it. Yeah. This is it. Thank you, God. I've been praying for this. I need to go home. I got kids. They teenagers. My grandma's 80-something years old. Mm-hmm. My aunt need to live her life. My other aunt just, running back and forth. Everybody have their family. Whoever didn't send a card, I didn't care.
And
that
you
stuff
didn't
matter.
And that's the thing. You never came across as if you felt like anybody owed you anything.
They didn't.
Yeah, you never.
I put myself in that situation. Yeah. I didn't care. Now, if you would send a message back to me and you never said nothing to me, I feel a small type of way. But
why you wait till I'm here?
Yeah. And still, take it to my kids if you got something for me.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Yeah. I'm working in here. I'm taking care of myself. Make sure my kids good. I'm all right. I really had a good support system regardless of how I had to get it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? So I was good with that. But so with COVID going on, I went to quarantine for 21 days and I went home. Yeah,
because I know I messaged you. Yeah, and I think you told me you were going to quarantine.
And I couldn't message nobody.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it's just
no
like a routine
emails.
Thing.
No emails, no phone calls, no nothing.
I said, Brittany, what? Then I think I might have hit you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you was like, I was like, wow.
I was so happy, man. That ride, I didn't even feel like 10 hours.
It was,
woo. That was a 10-hour ride. It didn't even feel like 10 hours. I was so happy. So when I got to where I was going from the prison to the bus station, and I seen that face to go home, it was just oh my God, I'm really about to go down the highway. I'm really about to. I don't care. I got on this prison gray. No, sure. I still wear gray. It don't bind me at all. But I really was about to go down the highway to Emporia, Virginia, where I live, and I'm finna be pulling up in the yard in less than 12 hours.
In 10 hours, I'm gonna be
at home. Crazy. And guess what I'm going to do? Eat me some fried chicken out the grease.
That's what I'm going to ask you. What's your first meal?
But my daughter cooked pork chop, cabbage. Okay. My sister bought me a salad coming from because I had to go get myself together.
They can't pick you up. Who picked you up?
My sister now.
Okay.
But I when I got to the jail, to get myself situated and go on further with the program that I'm in and all of that. It didn't faze me a bit that I still was part of the prison system. I didn't care because I knew I'm outside. Yeah, I'm going home. I know from here on out, I'm not doing nothing. You can't pay me to be around. I don't want to do nothing that's going to ever send me back to prison. Never.
And that's the thing. That's why we're doing the podcast at her home right now. Because of certain things, you still have certain stipulations and things.
Right.
And I didn't want to wait till, sometimes people want to wait till you get all the way there in your journey. No, I wanted to speak to somebody that's still on their journey and making a lot of progress. But as you see, it ain't been easy at all. Mm-hmm. So, how do your days look like now?
I'm thankful. Okay. I mean, somebody else may feel like, oh, this is rough, this is tough. Go to prison. Go to prison. Go to county jail. Leave your kids that you love, that you laid down and had. Leave your family. Leave, go eat that food. Have to wake up dressed in boots and a uniform all day till 4 or 5 o'clock every day. Go work for the warden, cleaning his yard, his everything, cutting grass, building a house, cutting down trees, scraping snow in the snow time. That was my job. I was in construction, outside utility. That was my job.
You were building houses.
I was doing everything to keep my sanity. I did all that to keep my sanity. I didn't mind doing that work, and that brings me to the point today. I could have avoided all of that if I just could have held on a little while longer. Just a little while longer. I didn't have to, because now I'm doing it.
Ain't that so?
I'm doing it. I went to prison because I didn't want to save to go to Miami. Or I didn't want to save to get to jail.
You wanted it right now.
I wanted it right then. And it don't make sense because now guess what I'm doing? I'm saving to go on the trip. When I work, I gotta say, you know what? I can get a pair of shoes this time. But next time, I ain't gonna be able to get a pair.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's okay, though, because I'm free. I got my sanity. I don't have to look over my shoulder to say, oh, my God, is somebody gonna rob me today? Is somebody gonna kill me today? Right. Whatever. It's the police watching me.
Right. Right. How much was you getting paid in there?
My first job, I was making $43 a month. $43 a month.
I don't even want to break that down into cents. That
like
good.
17 cents.
Oh my
17
gracious.
cents. 17. That can't even get the toilet paper and the dish detergent in here a month. You know. Yo. But I mean, I prospered and got up to $100 a month.
Big dog. Those big dog
I was big dog status in prison. You know, I got to $100 a month, but budgeting that $100. Budgeting that because I want to be able to take some home to be able to help myself too. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I had to save in prison.
Now, the way you had to do that then, do you still use some of that, how you work with money now out here?
Most definitely. Because now I have goals that I have to reach. I have to have a house. It ain't no, ooh, do I want a house? I have to have a house. Okay. I got to keep that car outside to get to work.
Nice ride.
My kids got to walk out of here with shoes on their feet. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't care if they Jordans or if they Pumas or if they Nikes, Reeboks. It don't matter. They still have to walk outside with a pair of shoes on. They still have to put food in every day. Okay. 3-4 meals a day.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's just, I mean, what you call, it's a grind mode, but it's that legal. You have to do it grind mode. It's no, I can't do it.
Motivation.
Yeah, I tell people, I do orientation at my job. I tell people, you as an adult have a responsibility. If you don't have no kids, you still got to take care of yourself. I don't care if you live with somebody. I don't care. That's just, as an adult, you have to take care of yourself.
I like that.
Period.
I had another question. You made me forget it.
I'm sorry.
You dropping them good balls right there.
This is just who I am now. I learned, I mean, you can't be selfish. And you got to be willing to grow and do the right thing. Live with integrity.
Okay. This is what I was going to ask. Hopefully you don't mind me asking. I ain't going to go into too much.
Oh, yeah.
How does dating work now with some of your stipulations? How does that look for you?
So I am dating, but you know,
not me. So I don't think I'm saying yeah because it's me.
No. So like, I really was looking for somebody that didn't mind this situation. You know, just took me for what I'm off the rough side. I'm on the rough side of the sand.
Because without all the details from what we talked about yesterday. It takes a person that's really interested in you to be able to do that.
Exactly. And, I mean, I love him for what he do. I really do. He came in off the rip. Me and my kids were a package. It was never just me. You get what I'm saying? Okay. And that's rare. Yeah. Nowadays, this 21. I mean,
who you telling?
They won't anybody a McDonald's sandwich, you know. But it's so rare to find somebody so genuine. I mean, it's just like it is what it is. We have our bumps, you know. We having our bumps. Like right now, we're seeking counseling because of the simple fact we don't want to have to ever get down the road and say we can't do this. So we're gonna start now.
What's the phrase you
and
use?
My phrase is I'm saving my marriage before I'm married.
That is dope, you know? Y'all. She said I like that. She's saving her marriage before her marriage.
I'm saving my marriage and I'm seeking counseling as a single couple and I'm getting the marriage counseling with it, you know, because I don't want to get divorced. Once I'm married, you stuck.
And you know what?
To death.
A lot of who you tell. If you stay there, yeah. But a lot of us. I guess if we had known counseling was an option a few years ago, if things might have gone differently. Yeah. And I was even telling the ones, I can mention it, Bishop and Michelle Crawley.
Crawley. Yeah.
And I think I was telling somebody, okay, now they're at that point, but a few years ago when I was married, they wasn't at that point where they could counsel me.
Right.
So it's good that you're able to benefit from their years of experience, and more people should do that. Yeah. You're in a relationship or thinking long term. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with y'all going to sit down with somebody.
And then you would think like me, honestly, and I know he gonna watch this, and he don't mind, you know, but I was so hesitant because I didn't think he would take to counseling. Okay. But I knew it. When he said yeah, I knew.
So when you took it to him, he was with it.
He with it, so I'm with it, and I think this is gonna be all right because I'm not a cheater. I'm not gonna cheat on him. I'm not gonna, you know. I'd have had my single moments.
So what made you realize that y'all needed that? And I'm sure you didn't think it was just for him.
Okay. Most definitely for me. I have a lot that I have to work on as an individual because I don't blame prison for nothing because I never changed. I never
said,
changed. I just
Brittany.
got right.
Yeah,
I got wiser from reading and just learning who I really was because I always lived to satisfy the man. Okay. I never really was happy with what I ever did with men, you know, and I've always been just subjected to whatever he say goes. Okay. So now that I have got to this point, it's kind of like, you know,
it's weird.
It's weird, and somebody who respect me. He ain't out here in these streets, you know, just doing whatever. He got a job. He take care of his family. He take care of his kids, whatever the case may be. A good man. You know what I'm saying? He's good to me and my kids. Ain't nothing that I don't ask him for. You know, I'm good. But
you not ever really being used to that from other guys' situations. Sometimes you might push him away because you're just not used to that.
That's it. And that's why I'm seeking counseling.
And it takes maturity. Some people would just make excuses. Yeah. Well, that's just how I am, or
nah. I know I need
blah blah blah. Okay.
I tell him all the time. I come from toxic relationships.
Y'all listen up, y'all. This is good
I come from abuse.
Okay.
For a long time, 6 years. I mean, beat, broken bones, beat, broken nose, ribs. I've been beat, sexually assaulted.
Hey, there's some of y'all guys that need to be taken off the earth for this stuff y'all do to women, yo.
Yeah, I mean it's just, I come from, and it's by no means nobody's fault but my own. I don't blame, because I was raising, that's just the choices that I made. It is not nothing to do with my upbringing.
Your grandma, if nothing else,
everybody my upbringing was that. Yeah. I mean, my whole family, not just my grandma, my whole family. We come from. This is just a decision I made. You know, just wanted to be fast grown and then walked into a pile up. You know who? You know, right so I don't blame nobody but myself because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. That's how I ended up with 2 kids before I was 18. By the time I was 18. You know?
I knew that.
Yeah. I have my oldest at 16. My second one came at 18. Okay. 18 to 6 months.
Wow.
I was fresh. Just moved out May. I had her in June. Yep. So, the counseling is going to be good for me, him, and us together. You know? And I need that because, like I said, I want something real. I've been playing around too long. My kids don't need to be seeing that. Jumping from guy to guy, you know, like that's just not happening. I don't want them to ever see that. I want them to see what it's supposed to be like, and that's love, marriage, family.
Wait, I like this. I like this. Yeah. I like to hear you talk like that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know how to say it. How much longer are you in the under the care of the system?
Okay, so I got 7 months and 18 days.
Total. Oh, that ain't bad. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought you had like.
Matter of fact, I got 6 months and 18 days. I'm sorry. 6 months, 18 days.
Okay. So you can y'all can really move around and do some things. Yeah. So.
And see, I'm out, you know, on the weekends. We go out to eat. We can go chill. I mean, if it's just to the car wash, to wash the car, to clean the car, I don't care. That builds. I feel like that builds up. What's the word? You know,
that's more intimate,
right?
It ain't got to be about spending a lot of money. We be spending time together,
right? And that's me.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I won't cancel him because he don't understand it right now.
Because you want him around all the time, no matter what.
And I'm fair about that though, because he gonna go out on the weekends when I can't go overnight, long distance. You know, I'm not mad at that, but I want to be in that list of priorities too. Okay. You know, I want to be in that list. I don't want to be the top. Okay. I'm being realistic. I am being realistic. Like, I want to be able to have balance with it. I know your guys do your thing, girls, we do our thing. It's gonna be times where I'm gonna be, once I'm off and free, for real free, I need a break from you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to ever be like I really need a break like that. Just some time away from myself. You're not going with me to the nail shop. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna go with me to get my hair done. Stuff like that.
I was gonna say, what if he started wanting to though? Like the way you want to have him around all the time. Yeah. I'm coming.
I'm still alright with it too though. Because I'm, like I said, I'm being realistic. Okay. But if he won't, I'm very affectionate. Okay. So when he come in, I'm like, hey, boo, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. I'm so serious. And I just did it recently. And he's just like, You know? But seriously, I got so much love for him. Like, seriously. I really do. That's why I wanted to work. And I can tell he do too.
Well, I'm hoping that even in the years when we look back at this video, that it's the same person you talking. Y'all sit there and watch it together. Or else it's gonna be kind of weird.
Right. Right.
Okay, so question I ask people sometimes. Okay, 5 years. Where do you see yourself?
I really just want to be content with. I want to be stable and content. I'm not pushing to be no millionaire.
I am.
We all are.
Yeah,
but,
I feel you.
At the end of the day, if I'm content, I'm happy, everything is stable, I can, like I said, I can get up, plan me a trip, go, take my family, my girls in college. I'm married. Who's to say I'm still going to be at my job? But if I can find a business that I can have on my own and prosper from it, of course.
And I was going to say, too, you had money come through your hands, and I guess you understand that don't define happiness.
There it is.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's why I think the way I think now. Back then, I'm trying to get an M. That was my thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to get an M, you know? And look who it got me.
So now if it comes, it's going to have to come while you doing the things you're doing now.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Exactly. It has to come legitly.
Okay.
I don't want nothing that's going to send me nowhere but to home.
I know that's right. I know one time while you was in there, you had mentioned like maybe writing a book or something. You still thinking about that?
I have wrote 4 chapters, and I'm doing outlines for the next 3, and I don't know how far I'm going to go. I don't know how many chapters that, because I just had a blankness. Like, I just went blank. So I stopped writing because I really wanted to realize, is this really what I want to write about? Because I changed within the last year of writing. Mentally.
Okay.
So the way I was writing, I still was in the mindset of a dope girl.
Okay.
A dope girl and being in prison.
But now that you're out.
And I no longer think that way. I gotta take it. So I can start with me being in that moment.
I was
but
you can still keep that.
Yeah, I was trying to grow a little bit more to finish it.
Okay. That makes sense.
And that's it.
So it's gonna be more about your life, based on your life.
Yeah.
Okay. That's.
And I kind of want to just help the younger girls who's searching for these dope boys that ain't gonna mean them no good.
And you know what, that matters. And like I say, it's not. I ain't knocking nobody. Do what.
And
you
I'm
do.
not knocking him either.
Yeah. Do what you do.
Because to this day, he'll always be. He was good to me and my family, my kids. Like, I have no hard feelings. He ain't make me do nothing. He put no gun in my head. Right. I have nothing against him. But at the end of the day, I have to move. I have to, I have to do what I have to do for me and mine, because life's short. Life is short.
These young girls need to know, like, okay, he might be a good dude, but know what lifestyle you getting into.
Right.
Yeah, he a good dude.
Could not handle it if you try.
That lifestyle, you're not ready for everything that comes with that.
Right.
Because as much good as it is twice as much on the other side.
Right. Because you got to understand, he really wasn't even mine. That wasn't my guy. He had a home he went to.
That.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's where I was wrong. Because I knew what he had going on, but I seen that dollar sign.
Yeah.
And then I end up falling for him.
That's a tough combination.
Yeah. And then, so now I'm not after your money. I really do. I want to be with you, And he ain't going nowhere. You out here looking like a fool, on some real deal stuff,
And I'm laughing, but this story happens too often, y'all.
Every day.
And it doesn't have
Every day. And it don't.
It don't have to.
It don't. Because like I said, now look at me. I'm out here working a regular job.
Hair looking all healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
Love make you look healthy, yo.
But yeah, I mean, look at me now. I have to start where I started.
It took all of that for you to just go right back to doing what you should have been doing. What you supposed to be
doing in the beginning.
Ain't that crazy, yo?
Yeah.
Well, you got a beautiful story, though. Story.
I'm trying to write it. I got to get it right, though, because I want it to be a bestseller.
It will be. If you put all of you into it, it will be. With your personality and everything. Shoot, I'm hoping you can get back on that stage with us whenever.
I enjoyed that. I really did enjoy that. That was something like, and I always said in the back of my mind, He using me for real. This story is part of me, but I think he knows something. I don't know. And I had so many like times where I'm like, oh my God, this man knows something. You know he the police. You know, I don't know what he know. You know,
I had no idea you was even thinking that.
Because
I didn't know what you were doing.
Right, I knew though. I knew sometimes.
And like, the crazy part is knowing him. He didn't know.
He didn't.
He couldn't even done nothing about it. That's the
not
thing
even
about it. He's not even. He couldn't even do that.
Yeah, I mean the local cops couldn't. So you know.
But I guess, like you said, when you paranoid like that,
yeah, that's how you think.
How you thinking that way.
I mean, plenty of times I would be.
I
would be loaded in the car. Car run hot. This when I had my own. I remember one time me and my friend was riding, and she rode with me to go handle something, and I was like, my car run hot. If the police stop, I'm gonna take my charge. You ain't got nothing to do with it. You don't even know I had this in the car. And she just like, wait, what is going on? You know, and I'm like, I cannot believe my car run hot. All this money I got, and my car's run hot. Like, yeah, and that's when I went and got a Mazda. You know, and I'm like, everybody like, why did you go get that car? Because I don't need nothing but something to get me from A to Z.
Drugs from
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, but like seriously. That was the moment where I was just like, oh my God, here it go. We going down. I'd been stopped and everything. Because I had license in that. You know, and I never ever wanted to use the rescue squad in vain like that. You know? I had them tags on my car. You know?
Did they let you off for that? Would they let you off when they saw that? Like if you got stopped, would they consider
I wouldn't say off, but they wouldn't consider that I was a drugger. They might write me a ticket, but they ain't gonna say, we need to search your car. Okay. We think you got drugs. You know, they didn't do that. It was just like, man, you know how fast. I never even really got a speeding ticket though.
That's crazy.
I've never been stopped for like nothing but like a tag light or a brake light, something like that. Oh, I didn't know. Can you let me out? Let me see it. You know, and I just play my normal Miss Daisy. You know, and it was just that. I was so blessed so many times. I mean, so many ways. Gunpoint stuff, robberies, police, all that. It happened.
It goes to show choices matter. Like you say, you didn't come from a family that was doing all of that. You know, of course we all have people in our family that might do what they do.
Right.
But like you say, I know what type of background you come from.
Right.
And I'm just saying it to show how fast a person from a decent background, you can still get caught up if you don't make the right choices.
Yep.
You know, it's fun and games at first, but thankfully you were able to get out of it and still be young. You know, still got
some time. I could get it together, right?
And
I think about that too.
Old and not grown,
right?
Yet,
and see, that was my worst thing. Yeah. I just want to come home to my kids and my grandma. Everybody else, I love y'all too, but I just want to come home to my kids and my grandma because those are the ones that I feel like. The rest of my family too. My aunts, I'm real close to my aunts. My uncle, I love my Uncle Patrick to death. Like I love all my uncles, but my Uncle Patrick, he was there, like on the scene.
Okay.
He pulled up there like, you can't come in. He like, I just want to know what's going on. That's my daddy.
Yeah,
you know.
That's what's up.
So like, if I was to get married, he walking me down the aisle. Like I don't care, you know. But you know, I'm just glad it's over. I'm so glad it's over, and I'm so thankful for my support system. Because they never left. I mean, you know, you have your times where, look, girl, I ain't got no money right now. I'm gonna send it when I can. You know, but that's my problem.
Well, yeah.
That's my problem. I can't look. They gotta pay their bills
all the way through.
Yeah, I'll be mad for a little while, but you gotta sit down and say, look, girl, you got yourself in this. That's your fault. You ain't save no money.
Wow.
You ain't have no money to put up and do all that. You know. And that's for real for you.
Yeah,
that's for real.
Everybody wouldn't own it like that. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I appreciate you taking the time to even talk about any of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind talking about it because I just wanted to help somebody.
And that's why I asked you. Like I said, a lot of times it's a lot of guys I could have asked that have been in the system or whatever, but I'm like, nah. That gets highlighted all the time on the news, in the media. Our women deal with things too. Some of the same very things that the men deal with, but nobody wants to highlight that.
And I'm glad that you said that because I feel like it's rougher on women than it is men.
Yeah.
The women really leave a full time. If you were a mother, like stone cold, hardcore, 24/7 mother, you leave a whole lot. The father has that. I mean, if you a full time father, that's okay too. I get that, you know. But
a lot of times we not in the house with the kids, even on the streets.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
and then, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you call home now every day because you locked up.
But if I was on the street, I might call once a week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
And that's what I'm saying.
But you with your kids every day, then get snatched away.
Yeah.
Yo, that's tough.
And I mean, for a little while, my baby girl had like this attitude. I mean, funk. This funk, like, because she was so used to this certain type of living. You know, even before drugs, I still worked my butt off and took care of my kids. Right. It never was a time where they had to wonder where their meal was going to come from or where they going to put on shoes or where they going to get their hair done. None of that, because I still work. That's why I don't understand what possessed me to go and sell drugs, because I always had a job ever since I was 15 and 9 months. My first job was Hardee's when I was pregnant. Wow. So it just was something to do.
That money.
Just got tricked. Yeah. You know, I tricked myself though. I don't blame nobody. To this day, I do not blame nobody. Trick myself.
I hope y'all tune in and listen to this. For one, a lot of good stuff is been said here, but the number one thing is like accountability. She's owned every piece of this. And I'm not saying for you to go out there just so you can own it. Like, don't do it. Thankfully, like you said, you have a support system. Everybody might not have that. Don't go roll the dice. Because, okay, not that your family wouldn't have, but say if they didn't step up.
And I'll tell her what my kids would have been.
You know what I'm saying?
The system. Yeah. I would have been in there, you know, scrambling, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, especially in the county time. Because all my money came from the streets in the county. I didn't make no money working in county. Okay. You know, so my family had to support me for that first year. I mean, 100%. Wow. And then, you know, once I got the working and stuff, you know, I kind of like would stop calling unless I really needed it, you know. Okay. Yep.
Look, I appreciate it. We gonna get to wrap it up. I can't wait to go back and watch this one because you said a lot of good stuff, and I appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sure I probably want to get you back up here at some point. You know, once you're able to really move around. Yeah. You know. Even maybe after y'all done went to counseling a little bit, just to pass on a little bit more of what you done learned, some experiences and stuff, and like I said, hopefully it helps somebody. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Stop tripping.
Share our video. Yeah,
man. share, like, comment. Look, all that matters. Yeah. If you like it, I appreciate when y'all hit me up and tell me how much you enjoyed the podcast. Put it on the comments too. Put it in the comments on the channel. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.